mate, bruv, that's what we always talk, bruv. You know, let me just talk to this girl.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's like whoever catches the fish first, isn't it? So, and I just started talking to her, and I don't know, I think it must have been the Holy Spirit, because there was no confidence in me, but the words just started coming out. Say yes, say yes. So he helped me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I felt like he could ask me about my money, so why could I not ask him about his?
Past trauma is so crucial. That's something that needs to be really dealt with before you get into marriage.
Hello guys, welcome to our show again. Welcome to Let's Talk Marriage, the podcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, we're in a different studio today. We've got very good guests. We're talking marriages, we're talking relationships, we're talking life, anything you can think of, Thank you for subscribing, thank you for sharing, thank you for joining us. Keep sharing, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's keep the channel growing. We got two great guests today. They're a couple, they are married. They've been married for 13 years, if I'm not wrong. Probably they'll correct me as we go along. They are great. They serve in church, they are worship leaders, They do all sorts of things. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to talk to them. It's Aaron and it's Mikhail. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
You guys look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I like the chemistry, especially when you said, what's the parking? And she knew the location. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Did you guys discuss earlier or did you research? How did you know?
I guess we just vibe with each other.
We vibe, yeah.
That's good, isn't
It's a
it?
vibe, yeah.
And actually your dad, the dad was here before and, he was telling me that he knows you guys have got a great marriage.
Thank you.
And he knows, not because you've told him, but because he's watched you, he knows, sometimes he said to me before that you've turned up to his house and before you knock on the door, you can hear you guys talking in the background and you can tell from the way you're relating that you guys got a great marriage.
Yeah, we're definitely friends.
Yeah.
You're friends.
We have a great banter.
Yeah?
Which is good.
You got to be friends first before
Friends first, yeah.
Yeah. So how did it, let's start there. How did it start? How did you see her?
Wow, the ball's on me, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was quite a long time. We've been dating for quite a long time. And
how did the dating come about?
Wow, this is junior university.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was in uni and I was in all the way in Liverpool University. But we had mutual friends and I used to see her with, the friends. I was like, okay, just like the usual, the boys, we the hunters. So I saw her and I really wanted to pursue her. But we had quite a lot in common. And what we have commonality was music. I'm a drummer and she's a singer, a really great worship leader, yeah. I used to visit their church a lot because LICF that time used to do worship events. Me being into music, I used to go and attend all the time. And I saw this lovely lady on the stage singing, beautiful voice. And I was like, okay, amazing. But I knew her before. One day, because I'm a quite shy person. I didn't have any confidence that time. One time, my friend at that time also liked her as well.
Okay.
So he kind of...
she needed a friend?
She needed a friend, yeah.
Did she like the friend? No?
So he was talking to her, but he seemed to have a bit of a cold feet. So I was him talking to her, but I don't think he was on his game. So...
we will normally say the one with the sharpest knife is the one who eats the meat.
Exactly.
So
I saw in the back of the corner him talking to her and I just went to approach her. I'm like, mate, bruv, that's what we always talk, bruv. Let me just talk to this girl.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's like whoever catches the fish first, isn't it? So, and I just started talking to her. And I don't know, I think it must have been the Holy Spirit because there was no confidence in me, but the words just started coming out. Then me thinking, because I know at that time, to me, she was a bit feisty. So I thought to myself, she's not saying no. But, we just started talking. She was very nice. And we just took it from there. Really, start talking on the phone. Yeah.
Really? So did you say to her, "Thus says the Lord, I will marry you"?
I couldn't use those phrases
ones,
because
yeah.
I wasn't really that saved, so I couldn't say that. So, well, it was brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you think when did you think, wow, okay, did you think about it, or did you take time?
It was after a music event, and like you said, I was talking to his friend. I mean, we was just talking. It was just a conversation.
Well, now you can say that now. Wow, I'm sure before.
And yeah, he came over and he was like, "Can I have your number?" I was like, "Okay, no problem."
Really, just like that?
Yeah, I because we had mutual friends, so it wasn't like he was a complete stranger. We had crossed paths quite a few times previously, so it was different from somebody who you just don't know and they've completely out.
So when you
of the
got your
blue.
number, did you know what his intentions were, or you just gave him just?
Yeah, to be honest, genuinely, I was giving him my number because he just was like, "Hey, let's catch up," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And so we started talking. A lot of our conversations were around music, were around our common interests, and I would never have said at that point that we would have got married. That's for sure. And I think that's because, well, in honesty, which he knows, I wasn't really looking to get married, if I'm really honest. My parents have a great marriage. I've seen a lot of good marriage, but that wasn't my focus anyway at that point. And
You were still in university at the time?
Yeah, I was 19.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
Yeah, he was
I was 19,
just going off to 20.
Going to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like a couple of months before I turned 20. So I was still quite young. Long story short, anyway, we dated for 4 years. He proposed to me at his brother's wedding.
Yeah.
So I was a bridesmaid in his brother's wedding, and he proposed to me on the docks in London, and I said yes.
On the docks?
Yeah.
It was quite
really?
Yeah, it was quite funny because when I got my knees, there was a guy in a balcony. I don't know, I think he was drunk. I got my knees and he was like, "Say yes, say yes." So he helped me a little bit.
Yeah. So, like at this wedding, do they throw the bouquet, don't they? The bride?
Yes.
Did you catch it at that time, or had you caught it before?
No, we weren't. I don't know. I feel we probably missed that part of the
Yeah, I
wedding.
think so. Yeah, I don't know where we were.
Oh.
But no, I didn't catch the bouquet.
And then you said yes, obviously.
I did say yes.
Oh, wow. And then after that, how long before you got married?
We actually split up.
Yeah.
That's not how this is meant to go.
Yeah, that's not meant to go. It's not the usual fairy tale story. Yeah.
We split up. I think we split up maybe a year later.
Yeah.
Reason being?
I think we have some differences really. Culture-wise and everything, I think because we rushed it and we didn't get a chance to take the opportunity to know each other, and we just start clashing in certain things. Am I correct?
Rushed it. I don't know if that's the case.
Am I wrong?
You've been dating for 4 years.
Exactly. I don't think it was rushed. I think that at the point in which we were now ready to get married, things that perhaps you don't deal with during dating started to come to light. And so as a result, we were like, no, let's go our complete different ways as far as the relationship was concerned. But we did both still go to the same church.
Yeah.
We were serving on the same ministry team. So we were definitely still in each other's spaces.
It was a little bit awkward, wasn't
it?
it?
It was awkward because
Yeah.
he was like, "I'm not leaving the church," and I was like, "Well, I'm not leaving the church." But I think that we needed that time to really find out who we were to be as a married person. And so I think we split up for maybe 6 months or so.
Yeah, 6 months.
And then we got back together, and after that we got married within a year.
So what made you get back together? What did you?
We had great, amazing youth leaders who were mentors to us. I lived with them, and there were eyes and ears, and they always sat down with us, advised us. And when we split up, they spoke to us and said, "You two pretty much are meant to be together." Especially my youth leader. They were husband and wife. So, but the man used to sit down and speak to me, always advise me how, to be a man and stuff like that, put certain things in place. And those times I didn't have that understanding, but he really, really helped me. So I shout out to him if I can look in the mirror.
His name, man, whoever you want to do.
Yeah. He's an amazing guy, and both of them were amazing. So they
Kobe
brought
and
us together.
Benedicta.
Yeah, Kobe and Benedicta.
Deacon Kobe.
And
I think
Benedicta.
I saw them when I came for the first time.
Yeah, amazing couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they at the retreats? We're going to talk about it.
No, not this one. No.
Not this time. Yeah,
Have they been before?
I believe so, have they?
I think they have. Yeah,
Oh,
they have really busy
schedules.
schedules.
But they're an amazing couple. Yeah.
They are really amazing.
Wow.
People. Yeah.
So, the 4 years, because I was going to, no, this is a bit confused me a bit, because I was going to say, the 4 years when you're dating, would you call it, how was it then? Because when you're dating, which I believe in a Christian setting, you don't stay at each other's house, you don't, you know. So how was that? Was that awkward? Or were you like spending time in church all the time? How were you meeting? What were you doing? Yeah.
It definitely wasn't just meeting in church.
Yeah.
We weren't going on holiday together.
No.
But yeah, we definitely spent time together. Obviously, I would go and see him at uni. He would come and see me at uni. We would meet. He would come to my parents' house.
Yeah.
He would have dinner with us. I think. Did you have? I don't know. You had one celebration. I don't know if it was Easter
Christmas.
or Christmas with us.
This is the 4 years when you're dating?
Yeah. He got on with my parents very well, especially my mum. Him and my mum were like two peas in a pod, still are.
Nice.
But yeah, we would go, you know, the normal things, cinema, or we'd go to a concert, we'd go to a music event. We would do loads of different things. We just didn't do, you know, the traveling together or the kind of
the worldly couple thing.
Yeah, exactly. But we definitely enjoyed.
We enjoy our
each
time
other's
together.
company.
Yeah.
Was your mum disappointed when you broke up after the engagement?
Yeah, she
How
was.
was it? Did the dad put you in a headlock? Before,
Oh
saying,
no!
"Listen,
But
man."
prior to that, or during the time, I mean, Bishop, he made it known that this is his first daughter. So
Yeah,
he did the
pretty much.
usual traditional, sitting the guy in the corner and having words with me in case I broke those rules. He used to say some funny stuff. He used to take me in his car, drive somewhere, and he said, "This is my only daughter. If you mess with first daughter, sorry, if you mess up, you know, I got family in Jamaica. They're 6 foot," and he just scared me so much that I got to the point I was like, you know what, I don't go through this anymore. But he was a good mentor. Yeah, very good mentor. He helped me, and that's one of the reasons why I said, let me pursue this, because I'm going to a family that will really help me as well.
So how's your family now? I mean, of course I know, like you're more in church. You kind of, I know you're not the same church, but it's more like he's come to your church, he's come to your yard, if you like, yeah. So how's your family? Are they in church as well, in LICF or no?
So my sister-in-law, my youngest sister-in-law, she's a part of our church.
Oh, is she?
She got saved again the day that he was ordained as a deacon.
Okay.
And she's been serving in leadership for a good few years. She's a great asset to the ministry. My brother-in-law, his eldest brother, he's a Christian. He married a pastor's daughter as well. And then his older sister, my eldest sister-in-law, lives here in London.
Yeah.
Is it in Edmonton, you said, yeah?
Edmonton, yeah.
And my mother-in-law lives in Milton Keynes.
Not too bad. So you kind of close-knit family. You kind of see each other.
Yeah. Quite
You can still go back to see. You still go to
To see
Yeah.
his
family.
definitely.
So we'll get along. Yeah.
So how are you like with the in-laws, like the parents, whoever? I mean, they get along. I know in-laws have problems.
For me, I mean, I clicked with my in-laws straight away, because because I kind of knew I had more of a relationship with Bishop prior to I met her first, so I already had that relationship with him, so it was easier. And the mother as well, us coming from the same culture background, so we kind of clicked straight away. So
Yeah, I get along with my mother-in-law much more now.
Oh, okay.
We didn't
In the beginning.
Well, I don't want to say, actually no, we did in the beginning when we dated.
She might be watching this, yeah?
Yeah, when we dated, I think she wouldn't mind me saying this. When we dated, I feel like we got on. I used to go to their house and things like that. I think it was when we decided that we wanted to take the relationship to marriage, and she didn't feel like we were prepared or ready, more so on his side. And as a result of that, she didn't want to give us her blessing initially. So obviously that would then cause me not to necessarily get along with her just based on that, nothing else, just based on that. And so for a little while there was some friction, but we definitely get along a lot better now.
When did she give you a blessing eventually?
Technically not. But if you ask her today if she's happy that we're together, she'll be like,
Yeah.
She's seen it now, I know.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. No? What have been your challenges? Esther, you've been married for 13 years now?
13 years, 14 this year.
14 this year.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Getting through the first 5 years, I've got a book actually, the first 5 years of marriage.
okay.
Yeah.
And the challenge, I got that.
That's amazing.
Look through it, and then you go the 7 years, and then after that, if you last longer than that, then you've done well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've done well, man. So the first few years of marriage, how was it? How was your marriage? Was there challenges, or had you now known because you've been mentored from your, like you're saying, them two guys you mentioned that they mentored, so you knew what to get into, or how was it then? Because a lot of times I find like with Christian marriages, because there's that not meant to do this, not meant to do that. There's another couple who are actually dating, they're not married, and I want to interview them actually. And I want to ask them, they've been dating for 9 months, I think. And I saw them last Sunday, and they were holding hands, coming to church. And I was like, wow. Wow, I like this. I said, your relationship is going to another level. So actually, I want to have a chat with you guys.
Okay.
So, and they're Christians, yeah?
All right.
So I want to know the challenges for them, how it is. That sexual urge, if you like. So given now that you guys, you got married, and so what were the challenges, if you want to talk about it, in the marriage? Or did you find lots of challenges, or was it like, wow, okay, I knew this before, so I'm expecting this now in the marriage?
I don't think that if any Christian person is honest, and if they try and uphold the Christian values, which we did to the best of our abilities, just because you can do that doesn't mean, and even if somebody teaches you, or you're under the tutelage of, great experience and all of those things, it's never going to prepare you, because you are different to the person who's preparing you. And like I said, we came from very different backgrounds. I came from the traditional 2.4 family. Parents were together, grew up like that. He came from what the world would say was a broken home. His real dad was back home, his mum was here in a relationship with somebody else. So all of those factors are not things that people really delve into when you're dating, and we didn't. And so now the reality hits you. You've come back from your honeymoon, you're in your house, you're together, and what one may see as basic things, and I said this at our retreat, because we were privileged to share. I came from a home where my mum covered for my dad, and that's the reality. And I say that with all due respect to him. I didn't have brothers, so I didn't have that kind of male understanding outside of my dad. So I saw my dad as perfect. I didn't see socks on the floor, I didn't see the toilet seat up, all of those things that now I'm seeing, and I'm like, why in the world is the toilet seat up? And I'm going to the toilet in the night, the light is off, and I'm falling into the toilet. Or socks are on the floor, and things like that. And as trivial as they sound, and we can laugh about it now, but when you're just moving in with somebody, actually those things can become bigger than,
of course,
what they might need to be. And so, and little things like putting out the bins, in my mind, you have pink jobs and you have blue jobs. And a pink job would be maybe to, cook the meal or something like that. The blue job would put the bins out. And automatically my mind just was like, oh, the bin is full, AJ's going to put the bin out. Bin is full and nobody's putting the bin out. And it was just little things like that caused us problems. And then we got pregnant very quickly. So we married in July, we were pregnant in November.
Of the same year?
Yeah. So
you didn't plan it?
No. So we had our child. Our anniversary is the 2nd of July. His birthday is the 6th of July. So he's like 13 12, this year, and we're 14 in marriage this year. So we then had the extra pressure of bringing a child into the world and just not dealing with and sweeping under the carpet. I think was a big thing for us in the beginning, and we actually were at the point where we used the D word.
Really?
Yeah.
At the early stage of marriage, we just wanted to just pack it.
Is it also because obviously, like, we're told that you gotta date when you're married. When I say date, obviously get to know each other after you're married. At least a year, maybe a couple of years before the kids come. Isn't it? So you didn't have that privilege.
We didn't have that privilege. No.
My goodness, it must have been tough.
It was tough. It was really tough. I'm actually saying, talking from my perspective, it was challenging because coming from a home where I'll say this, dad was there but I was not present, so I was unable to put things in place. When I got married, she'll say certain things, puts the bins out, fixes things, and I didn't understand this because I didn't grow up from that to have that understanding. So it was challenging, and when sometimes things were said which kind of really triggered me because it brought back past trauma and things like that. So again, when it comes to marriage, I that's why we discuss in our marriage retreat is past trauma is so crucial. That something that needs to be really dealt with before you get into marriage. And there's certain things that I talk for myself, I didn't deal with, and I took into the marriage and it really triggered, and that's why it kind of caused separation, is what wanted us to separate. So so I always like to tell young men this, especially those who are getting into marriage, deal with past trauma, deal with past issues before you get into that marriage, because it'll cause an issue if you don't deal with it.
I think I've discussed that before with a certain lady we were talking about, and she actually said she doesn't want to be the wife, you'll be sitting his traumas. You don't want to be now like,
Absolutely.
this is how I, and then now you gotta be walking around it to try and sort him out.
Exactly.
When I sorting him out, when you're in this marriage as well, it's not like you've got money about marriage either. So you want to work on your marriage, and then you're working on his traumas at the same time.
Absolutely.
So now that's weighing you down, and then you go your other things. Maybe now the child has come. Now you gotta think about the child as well. Exactly. So I can imagine. Wow. So
it was tough. I'll say it was really tough. First year was really tough. It's so funny. We always make this as a joke, but when we wanted to separate, I'll start packing up, and I didn't start packing in suitcases. I was packing in bin bags, ready to leave the house. I don't think they even had suitcases at that time. And I even said to her, I'm gonna take Giselle, which is our son. But usually, maternity, usually women end up having. I was making this joke to her. Life is not fair for us men.
It is, man.
It's always against us, isn't it?
Every time. That's a different topic altogether. Every time.
Absolutely.
So what made you guys stay then? Someone spoke to?
No, because we didn't tell anybody. We didn't tell anybody.
Exclusive.
It was even like when we talk about it now, our parents will be like, we didn't know about that.
Yeah, they were surprised.
Yeah, because I think where were we going to go? First and foremost, because where it was those kind of things, like where are we going to go? Like, we now have a son. It's not just about us anymore. And so I don't even know if we would say we had a conversation about it. I think we just fought for the benefit of our son at that moment in time. Probably not even consciously, maybe very unconsciously, we were just willing to stick at it and see what happens. And I think that when we got into maybe year 3, 4, we started to come out the other side. And definitely by the time we got to year 5, 6, 7, we were at a much healthier place. And so I think that's how it
God became big in the picture.
I was going to say, so was it more to do that you guys are Christians? Like that?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So were you still like married? And I know marriage is where if you're not getting on, I know some homes, like some homes where you're married, but either they be not cooking, they be no this, they be no that. A lot of things happen when the woman or the man feels the love, but when that's not there, a lot of things go out the window. So how was it for you at that challenging time?
Oh no, I like food. I wouldn't stop cooking.
Okay, so so was it business as usual for you guys? Was it business as usual, as in still come to the house, still have a chat, still sit down together?
Yeah. I think so. I don't think that we became There was no like
Distance.
real, there was no real malice or, you know, well, I'm going to do this because I don't think we're that couple anyway. I definitely think we were the couple that swept things under the carpet. So we didn't deal with things. So even in that duration of time, maybe where we would say we were patching things together, it was literally patching. We wasn't dealing with whatever the issue was. So some of the issues were to do with money, but we weren't dealing with the issue. We were just carrying on. And I think we would say maybe later on in our marriage when everything kind of, because eventually, you know, the more you're brushing, the bumpier the carpet's going to become. And I think that once the carpet had got to the stage where it couldn't take any more, it was at that point where we were like, it's the elephant in the room, isn't it? And now
I think that was my issue, because what I think was whenever there's confrontation, I didn't want to, for me, I just couldn't bother to talk about it. I would just shut down, like, okay, I don't want to talk about it. And I used to hold stuff in because I just didn't want the drama. Just like, you know, us men, we don't deal with drama, we just keep it quiet. But during the years, I've learned to speak up. Even in workplaces, they tell you if you see something, speak up. But I wasn't speaking up. When I saw an issue, as you said, pull it under the carpet, and until it got to a stage where I just blew up. When the issue arises, it escalated, and I just let everything out, and it caused a lot of chaos in the house. So whereas now, if something is not right, I speak up straight away.
I think it is important because I know sometimes, I'm not sure how, it depends on the balance, because sometimes you might find you might speak up too much, and then it becomes that every day you're just dealing with issues, and then at times you might think, oh, you know what, if I don't say, then it's going to carry on like you're saying. It's going to become now this elephant in the room. So I guess it depends on the couple and it depends on the balance, because you might see in the house, oh, okay, I keep leaving stuff lying around and the wife doesn't like it. You're going to let it go today, let it go tomorrow. How long going to let it go? You know, if you don't speak about it, then, you know, maybe you'll think he's alright with it. And, you know, he doesn't know that it's a problem. You know what I mean? Up until when now you trip over it.
Exactly.
And then now it becomes a problem. So I guess it depends on the balance, isn't it? On the couple, because sometimes I found like, personally, like you're saying, I'd like dealing with the issue. Like, you've done. And then the problem is now it becomes like, that's what you're dealing with every day.
Exactly.
You're not having that kind of nice time together, because you come to the house, what is he going to talk about today? Or what is he going to find out today? He's in the house, you know? So, so it's always important to find the balance. But I guess it depends on you look at your wife and you know, maybe you choose the right time when to tell her, you know what, maybe you did this the other day and I didn't like it.
Absolutely.
So your argument, you say money issues. Did you, like, when you got married, did you talk about, like, when people go for counsel, they tell you, like, you go out, who's going to earn the money, who's going to look after the kids? Like you're saying, you're cooking. You find, like, some households or some people, some couples, the man is the one who cooks. But if you ask me, what are you looking for in a woman? Maybe the first three things, one of them will have to be, she has to be a good cook. You know that. Do you know what I mean? She has to, the other three, whatever, two can be something else. But most men would always say she has to cook. Or she has to be a cook like the way my mom cooks. Do you know what I mean? Something like that.
Absolutely.
So what are the issues that you guys went through? I mean, did you discuss that you're gonna earn the money, or you're gonna both earn the money, or?
If we're very open and honest, I was the one who was earning before we got married. And so there was no conversation of who's going to earn the money. I was already earning quite good money.
So were you in university at the time, or?
No, this is when we finished university. I'm guessing this was it 5 years within our marriage, or?
Yeah, for the first 5 years, I was probably the one who was earning.
She was earning that,
Wow, that's amazing. And then what were you doing? Sorry to ask.
I mean, I was still working. I was working,
we
were both working, but she was in quite a good job.
So she used to do most of the stuff, as in bills and all that.
We've always split kind of down the middle. And I don't think it was a case of like lording money over him or anything like that. I think it was more very basic things like, where does all your money go?
That's a question you get asked.
Absolutely.
Are you asking him?
Yeah. And that question was something that I would ask even when we were dating. And I think it goes back to dealing with trauma and identifying areas of issue. We believe in tithing. And
I didn't used to tithe. And that's what caused the issue. And I always encourage people that I had to go through it for a reason, because I was not tithing. And there was one point where I was earning quite a good amount of money, but I never had money in my pocket. I'm like, how is that possible? I'm earning so much money that there's like a hole in my pocket. And I used to get so frustrated, and I couldn't provide for my family. I'm like, where's the money gone? Then it came down to me not tithing. And it's so important to, give to charity, give to your church and stuff like that, because one day we own nothing. We own absolutely nothing. Everything that's given to us, even the clothes on me now, belongs to God. So I recognize that when I recognize I own nothing, and I start giving to the church again and supporting other charities, that's when I start to have enough. But that was an issue in that house, me not tithing.
Because it would be like, oh, let's go out today. Oh yeah, things are a bit tight. And I'm like, but it's payday. Payday. That doesn't make any sense. We just got money. So it was little things like that. Even though I earned more, I still gave him the opportunity to be
his own person.
His own person financially. And I never lauded the fact that I earned more money. I'm a very generous person. We're both very generous people. So that was never, it was more like, why do you not have? I think that was
so
the
did you
crux
feel
of it.
inferior a bit about the money? Because I would, if she's earning more money than me, even if she doesn't tell me, I would kind of feel, you're earning more than, or maybe she wants to do stuff, or that is a big issue, because she wants to do stuff and you haven't got the money, like you're saying, or you need to chip into this and you can't, because your pocket's not as deep as hers, and you feel as a man you want to do that. That can bring a bit of
absolutely.
So did you feel like that? Or?
I felt, in a way, it was not that she was earning more money. My thing was, why are you asking me what am I doing with my money? It's my money. You earn your money, I earn mine. So why are you asking me all these questions? And again, it came down to past trauma, not just from my upbringing, but from school. Because when I was at school, secondary school, I was a very, very generous person. Always buying food for friends and etc. So because of that, people took advantage of me. And growing up, I've become more, hardened to releasing money, because I just kept giving and giving. And whenever she asked me those questions, what do you do with your money, it brought back past trauma. I'm like, who are you to ask me that question? You're earning your money. So that's how it was.
Yeah, but she's asking. Okay, but are you asking because you want some bills paid as well, or you're asking because
it could have been anything? To be honest, it could have been a holiday, it could have been a meal out, it could have been anything. But
which you had a right to ask.
And we know that now, and we understand that now.
I do understand that.
But at the time, and like I said, even though I might have had the most money, in my mind, just because you have the most money, that doesn't mean that I should have to pay for everything life-wise.
Of course.
And I felt like he could ask me about my money, so why could I not ask him about his?
I mean, that's interesting, because African families, the way we are, I think it's very important. I'm just saying this because this is what I've seen, and I've talking to a lot of people, and from my own experience as well. You find if you come from an African background and you're the man, you get married, especially straight away. If you don't talk about especially the money issue, the woman expects you to be now the one doing most of the stuff.
Absolutely.
So maybe even asking where do the money is now, that she's expecting you like to come out, and now you're the one, you're the hunter, and you brought me to this, you asked me to marry you, we moved in together, you're the head of the house, so to speak. So I expect more of you. Do you know what I mean?
And to be honest, that wasn't my perspective at all. I'm half Caribbean, half African. He's full African, but this is very controversial. I'm very English. Like, I was born and bred here, and so in my mind,
you expect that 50-50 kind of thing, isn't it?
There was no 100% of him, and even today I don't have that mindset of 100% of him. Like, I'll laugh and joke and be like, okay, I'll pay for this, but you're going to pay for the bigger thing.
Absolutely.
And it's in jest most of the time.
But then again, that puts a seed in your head, doesn't it? You say this, even though you're joking about it, but still.
But before, as a man as well, it does make you feel like for me, I need to provide for my family. And I used to get frustrated when I used to work, and I was like, I can't provide for my family. It used to make me so sad, because I'm getting paid, I'm paying all this, but I think it's an ego thing. You want to be able to, just go on holiday, book a holiday or pay everything, and that's what you want to do, because we know traditionally it's the man's responsibility, to look after, the family, the wife, and I couldn't provide that. So that caused a lot of frustration on my part as well.
How about you, from your dad and your mom? Was your dad doing everything when you grew up? Because of course, you're in a listening setting, but you didn't see that from your house, did you? Because obviously, I'm sure.
I wouldn't say I asked those kind of questions. Perception would be that dad was the one who did. But I also know from hearing and listening that my mum was definitely the one who was sharper with money. As far as making sure that there was always sufficient, that there was savings and all of those kind of things. And I feel like I took that part as well, okay, we need to make sure that there's provision. So even if I was on a small wage, I would always have some cash here or some money here and things like that. And I did get that from my mum. I can't say gospel, but it was one way or the other. But my mum worked part-time, so I assume it was.
So how is it now in terms of money? How did you get through that? How did you manage to get to the other side?
I think it took a lot of studying about how to manage your finance, because there's some great men. Is it Maxwell? John Maxwell, him, and Buddy. There's another guy who Buddy Bell. Yeah.
Okay.
Reading that and understanding, how to manage money and stuff like that. Budget, put things aside, and learning how to, still have enough, but you can still go on holidays and things like that. So I think studying and applying the word was really important. So that's how I managed to overcome it. Stuff like that. So, and also it's important as well, believing in yourself, because I used to settle for jobs that will just pay anything. They'll pay me small money and I'll just take it. But I got to a point in myself and I said to myself, no, I'm better than this, and I started go for the big jobs and stuff like that, because I know who I was worth, what I'm worth really, and believing in myself. And she helped me with that, believing in my value and able to earn and support my family.
Wow. So. That's quite good. So who does most of it now, or you still do that? He does most of it.
I do most of it now.
Well
yeah, and she's helped me, because sometimes it's saying that before you get married, and that's what my family, you have to have everything in place. By that time I didn't have everything in place. We can't always. But when I got married, everyone is different. Some men have everything in place. Some don't have the opportunity to do. But when I got married to her, we did everything together, but not realizing that she was helping me to get to where God wants me to be. And now I'm at that place now. I'm able to provide, for my family. And she's still helping me. We're still growing, and it's been brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah.